Hola chicos y chicas. Today I want to talk to you about the supplementary packet that you received last week. This supplementary packet is going to help you to know what to study for our upcoming quizzes and tests. Let's go over what is in this packet. The first thing we talked about in class was tú or usted. That tú or usted is a way to say you, either familiar, or you, formal. Okay, there's a big difference between them. We don't have this in English. Tú, when you see tú, it is less formal than usted. It demonstrates a certain closeness or informality. You would use tú in a casual conversation with someone from your same age or in a relaxed environment. It refers to children, family, close friends, and this is when we would use tú. Or te, sometimes you guys see te, como te llamas, that is also informal. Usted. Usted is a much more respectful way of talking to somebody, an elder, an acquaintance, a teacher, a police officer. You would show respect with authority figures and strangers with usted. Okay, muy bien. And if we look in these two boxes here, we see who we address with tú, and we see who we address with usted. Everybody should read over these things as they're going through the packet. Remember, this packet is your key to getting an A on quizzes and tests. Okay, muy bien. Let's go on to the next topic we've looked at. Los saludos, introducciones y despedidas. Greetings, introductions, and farewells. We've talked a lot about this in class. We've talked about how we greet people. Buenos días, and that is said before 12 noon. We've looked at buenas tardes, and that is said in the afternoon. Here's buenas tardes, good afternoon. Buenos días in the morning before 12 noon. And we have our buenas noches, good evening. Okay, excelente. Everybody did really well with that in class. I think everybody feels confident about that. Then we're going on to ask how people are called. Como te llamas? There's our te. So we know we say that to a familiar person. How do you call yourself? And then we have our como se llama usted, to a formal authority figure. Me llamo, I call myself. Mi nombre es, my name is. Yo soy, I am. Same thing for formal, when you're talking to somebody formal. Me llamo, mi nombre es, or yo soy. Okay? We also talked a lot about the use of these three words, señor, señora, and señorita. Señor is for a man, señora, a married woman, and a señorita is an unmarried woman. These are the terms of respect that we use to address people. Everybody did really well with that in class, seemed to have a good grasp on that. All right, let's look at some of the other words that we used when we say that we've met somebody. Encantado or encantada, depending if it's masculine or feminine. Delighted to meet you. Mucho gusto, pleased to meet you. And igualmente, that means you're answering equally. Only the second person can say igualmente. So mucho gusto de conocerte, you could say igualmente, equally, me too. Okay, we have the same words used on the formal side. And let's go down to asking people how they are. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Tú form. ¿Cómo está usted? Formal form. ¿Qué tal? Which is what's up. That's informal. Y tú and you. How are you? Or y usted. Okay, everybody did really well with that in class as well when we went over that. Some of the answers you might say, how are you, when somebody's asking you how you're doing? What would you say? Estoy bien. Estoy muy bien. Estoy así, así. I'm okay. Estoy mal or regular. Estoy regular. That's one of the big ones we talked about. That means like I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Regular. All right. And then our goodbyes. Right here are our goodbyes. Chao, adios, hasta mañana, nos vemos, hasta luego, hasta pronto. All right. Excelente. Let's look at our next topic in our packet. Everybody has this packet. You need to take it out. You need to read it and look it over. We did a lot of work today with numbers and dates. And it became very evident today that people were confused about numbers and how to form dates. So we really need to review that. What did we say in class about how the numbers are formed in Spanish? 0 through 15, here it is, I'm outlining it for you, have specific names. And you'll need to remember those names and memorize those names and get the packet out and look these up. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay? Everything else is going to be an addition problem. Now, if you look here, look how these are written. Remember I told you there was a fancy way, more of an advanced Spanish way to write the addition problems. For you guys, Spanish 1, I want you to use the basic way. On today's exit card that I had everybody do, people tried to write it in this fancy way and it was disastrous because it was all misspelled. Just use the basic way. So if you're trying to say 16, you need to say 10. Use your basic numbers that you know. So 16 is 10 y 10 and 6. S-E-I-S. If you memorize these basic numbers on the first 15, you will do well when you try to go do your addition problems for the other numbers. Okay, don't try to get fancy unless you're an expert. Don't try to change your Y to I and make it all one word, because what I saw today, many of them were wrong. Stick simple, stay basic. And then you need to know that on the 10s, what do we have? Remember, most of them end in enta, except for 20. 20 was 20. And then we had 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay? We're working with 0 to 100 here. And all you have to do is take your number. For example, they give you right here, I gave you the first 3 for 30. 31, 31. 32, 32. Keep it simple. Form it like this. Okay? And let's look at dates. Let's move down. Dates were a big issue today in the class. This is telling time we're going to do next week. All right, here we are. Dates. Days of the week. In your packet, you're going to need to go over and review in your packet the days of the week. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Okay? Take a look. See if you can remember them. We'll practice every day when you come to class, but you should try to remember these in your packet. All right. ¿Qué día es hoy? That's a big one. What day is today? ¿Qué día es mañana? What day is tomorrow? Okay. Hoy es. Today is. That's one of our date formation sentences. Hoy es el 6 de septiembre. Hoy es el 5 de diciembre. Hoy es, today is, and whatever the date is. And remember, in Spanish, what do they put first? The day comes first. And after the day comes the month. In English, we do it in reverse. We talked about this. We practiced it. We took a little exit card quiz on it. Day and month. So it's also written in reverse. Let's go down and look. Okay? So we would say, ¿cuál es la fecha de hoy? What's today's date? Let's say it's Friday, the 5th of September. We would say, hoy es el 5. Hold on, I get my draw tool. El 5 de septiembre. And just for sake of saving time, I'm not going to write the whole thing out. Okay. El 5 de septiembre. You have to remember this formula. The 5th of September. Okay. El 5 de septiembre. el 10 de diciembre, el primero de enero. Okay, it's a simple formula. All right, let's look at, this was an important one. To talk about the first day of the month, you need to use primero. Es el primero de, we don't use uno. We do not say es el uno de. Es el primero de enero. Es el primero de febrero. Es el primero de marzo. All right, that was really important. And here is something we practiced a lot today and we talked about. When you are writing the date with numbers like this, we write it backwards. In English, when we write the date, for example, September 5th is like this. September/5, September 5th. That's in English. In Spanish, this is a no, 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 no. Because they say it, el 5 de septiembre. El 5 de septiembre. It is written backwards. You're going to have a quiz on this. It's important that you remember this. I saw a lot of people today on the exit card, even though we talked about it at length, they still wrote it in the English way. No, no, no. Write it in the Spanish way. Write it backwards. Day, then month. Okay, perfecto. ¿Qué más? It's really important for you guys to get this packet out and practice the months. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. They're pretty easy because they match their English equivalent. January is a little different. I think January is the only one that's really different. Okay, enero. The other ones, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. These are very similar to the English word. These should be really easy to remember. Okay, excelente. Yeah, let's move on. The alphabet. We've watched the alphabet video a couple of times last week. We'll play it again. We've talked about the most important sounds in the Spanish alphabet that we don't have. This one, the che, ¿qué más? La eye, the double L, which makes a Y sound. We've talked about la R, the R with the rolling R. We've talked about that. Oh, and our ñ. ¿Dónde está the ñ? Ñ. Right? These four sounds are very important. They're different. And they're very important. They're an important part of the Spanish alphabet. We'll watch the video again to have you hear the sounds of the alphabet. And I would like for you guys to be able to spell your names out in the Spanish alphabet. And we'll work on that in this upcoming week. Okay, let's talk about what is coming up. What is coming up? We're going to have a quiz on the dates, being able to write the dates. Okay, that is important. ¿Y qué más? Time. Next week, we are going to talk about how to tell time. We touched on telling time a little bit this week, but we're going to redo it again next week because there's going to be a quiz on being able to tell time. But we will have a in-depth lesson about that. But read this. Read over the supplementary packet. This is going to give you a lot of important information. We are also next week going to talk about the weather and seasons. We're going to be able to say spring, la primavera, el verano, summer, el otoño, the fall, el invierno, the winter. Now we're going to talk about in what season we are, what season, what kind of weather we're having. Okay, estamos en la estación de, and then what is if it's summer, winter, fall right now. Or you might see a picture and you might have to say what season that picture is in. Okay, muy bien. But those are next week. Time, seasons, and weather we're going to do next week. If you break this up, it'll make it a lot easier for you. You've got to get the supplementary packet out. And remember, tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? We're having a quiz on the greetings, the greetings, the body parts that we talked about, and numbers. We have to be able to write the numbers. All right, here they are. Okay, stick with the simple basic formula that I taught you. Don't try to get fancy with changing your Y to I. Okay, stay basics, stay simple. Memorize your 1 through 15, and then just use the formula we talked about to form the basic numbers. All right, muy bien, excelente. Ciao, chicos y chicas. I will see you tomorrow. And please take out the supplementary packet. Okay, ciao, bye, adios.